Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to our BKFC Reddit Ask Me Anything. We're joined by the tired but always game to do an interview, Taylor Starling. How you doing, Killa B?
I'm good. Like you said, tired. I'm in the point of camp where it's just not fun anymore. When you first start, you're like, yeah, I'm losing the weight. It's cool. You get really like you're really pumped. Now I'm at the point where I'm like, all right, it's go time. I'm ready to kill this girl so I can eat a triple dipper from Chili's. So that's how I'm feeling.
During camp, do you ever allow yourself like one cheat day to go get a triple dipper, or you can't?
No, I'm so disciplined. Nick tries to break me all the time, and other people try to break me, and I'm so on my shit that I am like, no. But Nick's been doing camp with me, so I don't have as much temptation. But you literally can't, you can't even, you could put anything in my face, and there's no breaking. I just think of like the mental aspect of like, if I break right now, then I'm gonna think about it in the fight. Like I'm gonna think about it. I'm like, okay, I got hit with that right hand because I had a cheat day. Like I that's the way I think.
So my wife got to meet you, so she gave me a question to ask you. She was jealous that I get an interview, and she can. But her question is: Nick travels a lot for work. Do you do you feel like the breaks and being away from each other is good for your relationship? Whenever I travel for work, she always says I'm going on vacation, and she hates it. I get to eat at the hotel and go out and all that. But how is it for you guys? Being able to have those breaks.
My dog's like stomping around.
Okay.
I feel like it's the worst ever.
Okay.
I hate it. We're best friends. So when
Sure.
we're apart, I feel so lonely. I'm so bored. If I'm not like thankfully I'm in camp, so him going to Hollywood, I had to have my nose down and just like keep grinding. But we're always like together or doing things together, and like him being gone stresses me out. When he went to Dubai, I was like being such a psychopath because I couldn't handle him being gone. And it's not the food, like him being gone and like out with everybody. It's like I just want to be together. So we're best friends. We don't like being apart. We don't need breaks. We don't need any time apart.
What did he bring you from? I had to bring $100 worth of chocolate back from my wife. What did Nick bring you?
He brought me chocolate bars back. He brought me the Dubai chocolate bars. And because like so the funny story is I saw them go viral. So I was on this kick. I'm like, I got to get one of these. And I would keep ordering them or getting them from places. And they just weren't as good. Like, they weren't that good. I'd be like, ugh, like, this is okay. This is
Sure.
okay. He brought me the one from Dubai. And I was like, holy shit, this is a real Dubai chocolate bar. And then he brought like so many like sour gummy candies back. So we had like a date in bed where we just like tried everything, and it was all the best candy, like so much better than American candy. And I'm like, I've been trying to order Dubai chocolate bars from Dubai, but you can't. So it's like it's killing me.
Well, it's got to be nice knowing that BKFC is going back to Dubai this fall. So hopefully you'll be able to get some more.
Nick's in the background like Dubai. This I got to go this time. I don't really have a desire to go to Dubai though. Like I have no desire to leave the country to be honest, but yeah, I might have to go for the chocolate bars.
If you love architecture and richy hoity-toity stuff, it's cool. To me, I was like, it's hot and we're in the desert. You know what I mean? Like, I mean,
Yeah.
the food was cool. Like I thought they had brilliant food. I really liked their food and it felt healthy. But yeah, other than that, I was like, eh.
I'm a scaredy cat, and just like the idea of being anywhere that's not comfortable to me does not to fly. What was it like 14 hours, 16 hours?
Yeah,
That's I don't want to do that. I don't even like flying to Florida for 1 hour. I don't like flying more than three. Like 3 hours is like my limit on a plane. Um, but I might have to go. I might have to go for a chocolate bar. I need to get over it.
when we were hanging out together, am I better looking on TV or in person? I mean, we got to hang out in Omaha. You didn't know about the Sturgis card. How excited were you to know that you were going back to Sturgis and you were getting to fight in front of I mean, Sturgis loved you the last time you were out there.
Oh man, there Sturgis is wild. I didn't want to be on. I wanted to be on Sturgis. And it was a lot of like you're going to be on Sturgis, then it was like we don't have plans for you on Sturgis, and then like last second turnaround and it's like you're on Sturgis. I'm like, okay. I am pumped. I tried to go through a lot of win like I Nate said, who do you want to fight? And I gave him some names, and all of them said no except Shelby Cannon. So I'm really pumped to fight Shelby Cannon. Sturgis is wild. I hope that she's ready because I think this is going to be like the biggest card she's ever been on. The people out there are wild. It's like Mad Max out there, and it's gonna be awesome. And I know that people are gonna be happy to see me there again. Like people are gonna see a familiar face.
I was kind of shocked that they didn't run you and Britain back because you guys had such a phenomenal fight out there. Britain was coming off a pretty awesome win out there in Dubai. I was thinking, like, you know what, they're going to let him headline, and this could be like, I love seeing you women get to, like, showcase. So I honestly was thinking you were going to be fighting Britain. So it's kind of disappointing you weren't. But congratulations, Shelby.
I really hope that this is my shot to get Britain back. Like that's what I'm viewing it as. I'm viewing Shelby like in the way of me fighting Britain again. Um, I don't see why they didn't run it back. I think maybe because like Britain is a bigger name and like our fight was one of the best female fights of all time, so it deserves to be in a different location with more eyes on it. Like I don't think people realize what goes into Sturgis, but it's not like a big ticket seller for BKFC. So for us, like we deserve a platform to fight
Sure.
again. I hope that Britain wants to fight again. There's like certain things that she said after the fight, like she didn't feel like she won. And just like, and I have all the respect in the world for Britain. Britain's awesome, but I want to run it back, and I hope that she says yes to that.
I had it as a pretty even fight, other than the last 10 seconds of every round. I feel like she stole them because she would just go haywire. You know what I mean? And like,
Yeah.
I felt like it was basically an even fight.
Yeah, and I think like the biggest downfall for me in that fight was like I had success fighting backwards. Like I had success when I was against the ropes and circling back. And to the judges, like that looks like she's in the center of the ring, but I was landing more punches going backwards. And I'm like, okay, got to make sure I'm in the middle of the ring this time. So we'll be playing King of the Hill next time we fight.
Okay, you've recently taken on a new role at BKFC. How fun is it doing the interviews and getting to know fighters like a little bit more behind the scenes?
It's so fun. Like the best part to me is like the fighters always look forward to interviewing with me now to where like people have reached out and like, why aren't you at the show? Why didn't I get interviewed? Or when I am at a show, fighters are like, how come I didn't get to be in front of the camera this time? Because I've kind of had to figure out my rhythm with like interviewing, like sitting down and interviewing every single fighter on media day is just impossible. So you kind of
Sure.
have to like narrow it down a little bit. And it's been a learning curve. It's definitely hard talking to people who aren't good at talking. I've had to navigate that. Like there are just some fighters who just they don't care about being in the camera. They don't want to have a microphone in their face. They don't want to answer your questions. So that's been my learning curve, but it's really fun. I think the hardest part is the travel. Like I'm not used to it at all. Like I said, I like my comfort zone. I like being home. So for me, there was a lot of back-to-back weeks of going, and then I'm away from the kids. Like that was really hard, but it's so fun. And I feel like personally being at the fights ringside, I've gained such an edge, and I'm excited to fight because I've gained so much of an edge sitting and watching the fights. I was just at Shelby Cannon's last fight right near the judges watching her fight, and I could see every flaw between her and Cat Pop Rocky, or like what I would have done personally if I was in there. And I just see the way that things move. So I feel like that's gonna give me a little bit of an edge. But it's fun. It's really cool. There's so many different aspects and so many things I wouldn't have even realized that go into putting a bare knuckle show together.
Let's talk about, you talked about some fighters are difficult to interview. Some fighters like online and online, their persona is like kind of dicks. You know what I mean? They're kind of
Yeah.
dicks, but then when you hang out with them, like, at a show and you're getting ready to interview them, they're like super nice people. There's so many misconceptions about these guys, and you're like, oh wow, you're not nearly as big of an asshole as I thought you were. Have you
Yeah.
noticed? Have you became friends, or have you, had a preconceived notion about somebody, and you're like, oh, that person's not nearly as bad as they were?
Yeah, I will say Brennan Ward. He's crazy. That guy is like he's a bare knuckle fighter for a reason. Like he's definitely got the crazy bare knuckle fighter mentality. But when he first sat down in front of me, he was so intimidating, and I could tell he was just like, ah, like I don't feel like doing this. But once I started asking him questions, he kind of turned around and was being funny and silly and was nice. And then so I was like, oh, okay, like, whew. The one that was the hardest that I don't think's ever gonna like change my perception of them now is Andre Arlovsky. And
Okay.
like that's T for you guys, but like he scared me and I was like to the point where I was like, I don't even want to ask him a question. He was uninterested, unamused, wanted nothing to do with like media and stuff. And I was just like I interviewed him and as soon as he walked away, I was like, this is rough. Oh, and I spelled his name wrong. Okay, so fun fact, when I do my interviews, I have a little notebook and I just scribble. Like I scribble, I don't like sit and I don't like really like take the time to put like a collegiate paper together for these interviews. I write scribbles so that I can just like look down and go, okay, this is kind of what I want to ask. I wrote Andre Arlovsky on the top of the paper with like all the things I wanted to talk about and touch base on, and I spelled his name wrong. Meanwhile, it's like in chicken scratch. While I'm interviewing him, he bends over and looks at my notebook and goes, "You spelled my name wrong." And I'm just like, I was just like, oh man, okay, whatever. I was like, sorry, don't look at my notebook.
Like Nike, just do it. You know what I mean? How
Yeah,
many
like
times did he
Nike,
say
just
that?
do it. Like 4 times. I'm like, yeah, like Nike. Okay, Andre, whatever.
Let's talk about like I've been watching quite a few things. A good guest, like, and granted, you don't have to deal with this, but I get so many people that are like, "Hey, I'm driving 60 miles an hour in my car, and I'd love to do an interview." And they're swerving around and going underneath bridges. But to be a good guest, like, do you have any critiques or anything that you feel like would help the like? I've done several interviews with fighters, and it's like they don't want to talk about them. And I tell them, if you don't want to talk about yourself, no one wants to hear about you. Like, if you can't be excited to
Yeah.
talk about yourself, like, smile when you're talking about it. Do you have any like ideas or any critiques for like interviewers?
I think for fighters, like what they need to know is like if you get that moment in front of a camera, you might not want to do it and you might have this like chip on your shoulder of like I'm just here to fight, but you have to realize at the end of the day, like fighting is more than fighting. Like of course people want you to be a phenomenal fighter, but if you can sit down and share a piece of yourself, people want to hear your story. People want to see all the versions of you even outside of the ring. So you like take that time to know like this is my moment to get something out there of myself for people to see. And like the more now we're in a day and age where social media is everything. If you have something that can be on the internet and go viral or be seen or just spread to other people, like that's only going to benefit you in the long run as a fighter. So I hope that people learn that like we're not putting a camera in your face to be a jerk. We're trying to like give you some shine. So take that and interviewing wise, it's I used to be terrible. Like I'm gonna be so honest. The first time I had cameras in my face, I was the worst, like mortifying. And it took time, so I understand like not everybody's comfortable just talking to a camera or interview questions, but it's all like I said, that's your moment to get to like give something to people to get from you as a fighter and just be yourself. Like people want you to be yourself and like, as far as that goes, if you just suck, then you just suck, but embrace it, be like, I suck. Like I'm here. I don't really like doing this, but I'm here and I'm doing it for you guys. Like I don't know, but you got to embrace it. We're trying to give fighters shine and let people see them because I feel like that's something bare knuckles really been lacking. I feel bare knuckle has not given all of these crazy like we have so many crazy personalities. There's so many people with these insane personalities and stories and storylines and it's like we got to build that up and at least give them a 1 minute reel on Instagram talking shit with me like come on. So
One of the favorite things about your show and my show is, look, if I ask you stuff about fights, it's going to be the same 5 questions that every other show asks you. You and I, like, the one thing that I like, we ask people the goofy questions. We talk to people. We get people to send in goofy questions. And that's what I feel like people enjoy, like having a question other than like, tell me about your fight. How's your diet going? Like, what's new for this camp?
yeah, like for instance, like two people that come to mind. Bryce Henry is hilarious, and I feel like people don't really get to see that side of him. He's so funny and says the most insane stuff. probably why he like doesn't get the microphone too many times after he fights, but he's so funny and such a good goofy person. And then Mike Richmond, like Mike
Sure.
Richmond is so stoic and so like together. For me to like interview him and to get him to giggle and show that he's like silly and a human being too is awesome. Is everything. It's the best. If I can make someone like giggle and like get something out of them, that I'm doing my job. That's what I think. I also got some critique from somebody saying like you're being too girly, you're being too giggly, and I'm like, no, like this is fun. It's real. It's fun. This is what people want to see.
My only critique, and I don't know if it's you or like what BKFC wants. I would love to see you change up the questions. It's
Yeah.
so like every fighter is the same questions. I would love if it wasn't exactly everybody asks the same question.
It's so hard. That's the
Sure,
hardest part because I really sit and like I said, I have my notebook and I
sure,
sit and I'm try at first I was asking the same exact questions to everybody. I was like,
sure,
I'm just gonna run through the lines and then Nick's soup's done. Um, I would run through all the questions and do the same thing. And I'm like, okay, I don't like that I'm asking everybody the same exact things. So I'm
sure.
trying to diversify it a little bit. And now I'm doing more research on the fighters, like people who have different stories or what they're coming from. I'm really doing my research on what everybody's doing so I can kind of touch on it. But then at the same time, like I got to get better because it is hard to like ask fighters questions that aren't the same. So I feel like me learning about them is going to help out a lot more, like really diving deep into their backgrounds and family lives and where they're from. Um, but it also is hard because it's like, all right, we're at fight week. It's bare knuckle. You're a bare knuckle fighter. How do you feel going in there? Like, it's hard.
It
I'm
my
learning. I'm learning.
my wife was like, it's crazy how much time you put into it because you do research people. I have two jobs and I do this. And it's like, holy crap. I feel like I almost spend more time doing like the research and figuring out and trying to arrange stuff and getting everything lined up for these guys. But like I said, it's crazy how much you put in. But, it's one of those you get what you put into it. And like I said, you're doing phenomenal. You're killing it. The Reddit
Thank you.
really enjoys you. Like the Reddit's like, it's finally great to see someone who has a combat knowledge interview people.
And then it's fun because it's like, even if I do like fuck up and say something stupid or like don't know something or spell Andre Arlovsky's name wrong, I think it's funny. I'm just like, I'm a human. I don't know what you guys want me to do. Like, this is something too that like, there was no training. There was no, this is what you're going to do. Like, I kind of said, this is kind of what I want to do. They set up a camera and they're like, all right, do it. And I was like, oh shit, okay. And then I've been on the broadcast. Now, that one I've gotten a little more coaching and that's a little more pressure because you're on the live. There's no time to fuck up. You've got someone in your ear talking to you. You can't mess up there and be completely yourself there. You got to kind of put on a little bit of polish to it. Um, so it's fun and I'm learning and I feel like I'm getting better and it'll only grow with it.
BKFC is starting to stack up some women. We're bringing in some big name women. When do you see us getting a? And I say us, I mean I'm not part of BKFC, but when do you see BKFC having an all female card?
Dude, that's the goal. That is the goal. I have brought it up. I think the press conference in Texas. Press conference? Not press conference. It was press conference before when Kai Stewart was there, everybody was there, and they gave me the mic and I tried to start some shit, but I was like, you know what? We're gonna talk about the women. What
Yeah,
do you have for us, Feldman? And I think Feldman mentioned something about like the women having some lackluster fights, and this is where my point of view is if you only have one female fight on the card,
sure,
you can't guarantee that it's going to be a barn burner every time, but yet you have a card with 20 men on it. And sometimes there's pretty fucking boring men's fights, but nobody clocks that or pays attention to that because there's so many and so many things going on that it's different. Like you put a
sure.
woman's fight on there, everyone's like, oh my God, a woman's fight. If it's boring or not, if you had an all women's card, I can guarantee you there's probably going to be one boring female fight, but the rest of them could be amazing. Or I think that the women definitely deserve more shine. I think that's kind of one thing that I really want to like work on injecting in the company too. I think Sturgis is the start of it. We got two female fights on that card, which is awesome. I
Mhm.
think we should definitely work on having more female fights on cards. Because if you do the math, I mean, depending on how many cards there are, one female fight per card, that doesn't give us much time to rotate the women out and keep us active. That's why some of us are sitting on the bench and some of us are getting put in or not. And an all female card would be dope. I think people would respond so well to it. And that could be something to prove, like, hey, we're not all boring fights. I've had some of the best fights in the organization. I've had some of the worst fights in the organization. Like, it's just not, I mean, damn. Women aren't knockout artists per se. Like, sometimes we can be. We're known for being catty and putting on wars, but women don't typically have KO power unless you're Jessica Borga. But like, to really knock someone out cold, and
Sure.
that's harder for women. And but I think we deserve more. I think the women deserve more shine. I think we do a lot more for bare knuckle than people realize.
I feel like 115 to 125 should have a fight on every card. Like I feel like
Yeah.
it's not that much to ask, and you have enough females on the card that it shouldn't be that hard to pull off.
Yeah, the way that women are willing to step in on 1 day's notice, 2 days notice, like we're willing to go whenever you just say so. Um, I think we could prove something if we had an all women's card. I don't think it'll happen anytime soon, but if it does, I think it'll be awesome. I think it'll be great.
If you were one of the Golden Girls, which Golden Girl would you be?
Oh, Rose. Rose, I'm gonna be I probably come off way more intelligent than I am, but I'm very ditzy and like things just kind of go right past my head. I don't really pay attention to anything going on around me like ever. I'm very Rose, but it's funny because everyone goes Blanche, Rose, Sophia, but Dorothy is the sleeper. Like, Dorothy is so funny and so dry. Like, I love dry humor, and she kills it. She's one of my favorites. So it's like, you can always go with the classics. I'm a Rose, but I have a soft spot for Dorothy.
At one point, we had 3 power couples in BKFC. We're down to 2. Do you see you and Nick taking on
Who broke up?
Pittman and
Me?
Warren?
Oh,
It was a while
sorry.
ago. No, it's fine. It's fine. It was a while ago. They're still friends. Anyway, do you see you and Nick taking on G and Caitlin in a co-ed battle of who's the biggest power couple in BKFC?
Toe to toe, baby. I feel like I'm gonna. If we do, we have to like fight.
I don't see why not. I mean, like it's
I
a
feel like it
fighting
would have to
company.
be me and G, and then Nick versus Caitlin.
Or Nick and Caitlin wear like the ring girl stuff. You know what I mean? And then
Yeah,
you and G fight. Yeah.
it's so funny. We love them so much. They're the best. They're such good people. And like, actually, I was working with G a lot before, because like I was traveling, and when I first found out I was fighting, so G was helping me on the road. I was training nonstop on the road with G, and he's such a good person. Caitlin's so awesome. Um, yeah, that's funny. They're great people. But of course, I'm always gonna say that me and Nick are the best.
When was the last time you saw Nick without facial hair? Have you ever seen Nick without facial hair?
I have never seen Nick without facial hair. He's had like, what? I've seen pictures of you without. He's right here next to me.
I
I've
know.
seen pictures of him without facial hair, but I've never seen him in person without it. He's had like kind of shorter beard, but no, I've never seen him without a beard.
I told him that he could come on. He's like, "Oh, it's her thing. I don't want to." When do we get Nick on the show? That's what I want. Fans want to. Honestly, there's a lot of questions that other than like that, but there's a lot of questions that we would like to know about. Hey, look, you're a photographer. How do you get those pictures like loaded instantly? And BKFC showing us these crazy shots. We don't have to deal with it now, but like I said, people would like to know all this.
Yes, he needs to.
Yeah.
All right, you got me.
All right, I'm gonna book it.
He's such a businessman of like, he never wants to cross any boundary or say something that he like shouldn't be saying, or like anything off the cuff. So he tries to definitely respect all the boundaries, but he should. And I think it would be awesome for people to know, because there's so many things that I learned about Nick that I was like, I would have never imagined that that's what went into like being the photographer for Bare Knuckle.
How did, like, just quickly, how did you guys meet? I mean, like, I know you met BKFC, but I mean, like, he was like, "Hey, what's up? Good looking," or like how did that relationship spark?
No, see, I knew of Nick before I met Nick
Okay.
on social media, and I was like he was killing, like seeing him as a photographer. I was like, holy cow, this guy's so good. I was a big fan. And then I met him for the first time ever in Albuquerque when I fought Christine, the way that things went with that fight. Um, I walked into the room and I'm like, oh my God, like you're taking my picture. That's crazy. I'm a big fan. And he's like, I'm a big fan of yours. And like, nothing weird. No, like we weren't like hitting on each other. It was just all respectful work. But he was so nice. And I was like, how cool he's taking my picture. And after I lost to Christine, I was in the airport in Albuquerque crying. Like I just had the worst like 24 hours of my life. And he saw me from like upstairs in the airport and he came down and he put his hand on my shoulder and was like, like he said really good words. Like, this isn't everything. This is just, you'll come back. This doesn't define you. Like, basically stuff along that lines. And like the way that he spoke to me and like as a human being and said like the nicest things, like I remember the feeling. I was like, that was so kind. And I needed to hear that. I was a wreck. I was like, I really needed to hear that. And then just after time went on, like we were just friends and we always would like every so often we might have said something like, oh, that's cool or like whatever. And then it just one day we ended up somewhere in an elevator alone and it was like, oh, I like you. And then it just grew from there. But we were friends for a really, really long time, like respectful work, nothing crazy until we were just like, all right, like I like you. And that was it.
I posted a comment on your video. It's got 1,000 likes. You and Nick made that cute little video. Whose idea was it for you to spray the windshield when you asked it?
Oh,
When Nick was like, "Do you think I'm cute?" and then you hose the window.
mine. I had seen it. So I had seen it on TikTok and I thought it was so funny. I was like, that's hilarious. But it was like a girl doing it with their boyfriend spraying the windshield. I was like, how funny would it be if I did it?
It was
And I was like,
hysterical.
Nick, you have to do this. And he was like, all right. And he was like, you can't post that. And my mother-in-law is on my Instagram and all
It
of
went
my like
viral.
all it did. And it's just
Yeah.
crazy. It's like silly stuff. It's always the stuff that you think that nobody's gonna give a shit about that everybody gives a shit about.
I've noticed that too. Like I back in the day, I did a lot of stuff with the alligators and making viral clips, and I would be like, "This is gonna be so awesome!" And you have like 200 likes, and then something stupid would blow up, and like thousands of
Yeah.
likes, and you're like, it doesn't make any sense.
Every day I tell Nick like how much the views have gone up to and like how many times it's been shared. He's like, I don't even want to know. I don't even want to know.
Okay, my last question for you: what is your favorite flavor of pickle?
None. There's no pickle. This you guys must. That's when you guys had to like conspire on this question because I would never. I like have like a phobia of pickles. It's so weird.
Like all pickles, like pickled beets, pickled anything, or just
Um,
like pickled like cucumbers?
Cucumbers. I
Okay.
think they're so disgusting. I think they look weird. They smell weird. I can't think of like if it was to even touch me, I would like freak. One time Nick one time Nick like wet his finger like he had a pickle and like poked me and I had like a mental breakdown. They freak me out. I don't know what it is. It's like that lady on Mari where they're like, bring out the olives and she's like running. Don't. See, this ain't the time because I'll throw this phone and hang up. See, and he's such a freak. And Nick will just fuck with me all the time. Nick, I'm not kidding. If you have that in your hand, I'm telling you,
Is it a
it's
jar of
like
pickles?
divorce, bro. Stop,
Divorce.
Nick.
Just some pickle juice, right? And you can't do it.
There's there's nothing. I just
Oh,
opened a
okay.
jar of jelly.
Yeah,
Was the
you
jar
see.
easy to get off the lid because she didn't put the lid on, or no?
Precisely. Every
Now everyone's gonna think I'm a psychopath, and I am. I don't like them. I don't. They freak me out. I think they're just disgusting. They're the nastiest color. They smell. They're gross. We were at so okay. Fun story too. When we were getting married in Vegas, We were at In-N-Out. If you have a fucking pickle on you, I swear.
It was a jar of jelly, I swear.
I see him like reaching in his.
No.
That's how serious it is. We were at In-N-Out. Long story short, I didn't know the fucking In-N-Out sauce had pickles in it, right?
Okay.
And I'm eating the In-N-Out and it's good. And I'm like, something is wrong. And then I look down because I'm like eating it. I'm like, something tastes like pickle. And I look down and I was just like, I just ate a half of a burger with like pickles on it. I was like, I'm so upset right now. And it just like gave me like, I was like, this is terrible. Yeah, I'm a weirdo. I have like the weirdest phobia of pickles and I don't know why. I feel like it's like childhood trauma.
You were chased around by a giant pickle.
My dad was very like, you know what, like when you're poor growing up and like your parents are like, you're gonna eat whatever's on your plate, you're gonna eat.
Sure.
There's no, I feel like there was an instance where my dad like forced me to do that and it just like really, like I had to eat them and I hated them, and it wasn't one of those things where I could just like choke it down and get over it. It was like it ruined them for me.
Scarred for life. All right. I don't want to take you away from your bearded husband for very much longer. Do you have any final message for other than you hate pickles? Is there any message, anything you'd like to get out there to the fans before we call it a night?
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to fight in Sturgis. I've been working so hard for this. So I'm so pumped. I can't wait. I get to show off such a different version. I feel like I deserve this fight. I deserve a win. I'm ready to go in there and get it. Thank you to you for having me on here. It means a lot. You know, it's funny because like a lot of times when fighters are on like a little bit of a losing streak, although I fought the best in the world and someone who's been in the game for a long time, the interviews stop. People stop asking you. So now it's kind of to a point where I'm like, fuck it. If someone asks me, then I don't even like, very rarely does someone ask me anymore. And it makes it not, it makes you realize like who really was there from the beginning and not. So thank you so much for taking time to talk to me and listen to me still. It makes me feel important. And my wonderful husband is the best. He's been doing fight camp with me, my diet and everything. All of the fans, I can't wait to put on a show. I am a show woman and I can't wait to show off. And yeah, I'll be back to the media stuff soon and interviewing fighters. I just gotta go knock out Shelby Cannon and then I can get back on the mic. And yeah, I love you guys. Everybody's awesome. Except for I hate pickles, yes.
All right. All right. Well, thank you so much for your time. Can't wait to see it. And I will not be in Sturgis, but I'm going to be watching. So best of luck.
Stay home. It's a lot. It is a lot
Yeah.
to handle out there. I appreciate you, my friend.
See you, dude. Bye. Bye, Nick. Love you. Bye.
See ya.